Welcome to today's collective reading. This is TrinityGaiaOracle. For those of you that are regular viewers, I can tell it's been a minute since I've posted. I've had some real life stuff going on and learned a lot in my time. Deep in healing, supporting those around me, and connecting with Gaia, as you could see from the short that I posted recently. Ooh. Let go of being the martyr. She just looks so frustrated there. Find a balance between giving and receiving. It is not healthy to give so much that you feel ill or exhausted. I think there's a reason this is the Empath Oracle deck. Okay. And then assert your authentic needs. Just like that game you would play with as kids, and the vibration of the string would allow you to hear one another from a distance through the cup. In a kind, confident tone, speak your needs rather than hiding them. Empower yourself by being authentic. At our most authentic, we just want to be happy. Really, that's really what we all want. Whether we go about that in a healthy way or not, whether we observe people doing this in a healthy way or not, that's truly what we're all seeking. And we all have our own path, just like the leaf that falls from the tree. They all land in their own way, and they end up in their own spot. They're all unique. Yet we're all very protective of our inner sun, our new beginning, of our ability to create. Sometimes we shine so bright and our wisdom is so apparent that, like this eye, this all-seeing eye here, the triangle, the Trinity, is the strongest shape. You're never alone. You're never alone. And Source, Gaia, Divine, Trinity sees this, knows this, wants you to see this and know this. That, there's areas where you maybe do give too much of yourself. Maybe you are asserting yourself authentically and those needs aren't being met. So you think, hey, because, I've been there. Maybe if I keep giving, they'll eventually have what they need to be able to give back. Authenticity is something that is rare, it is coveted, and in a lot of ways, it's very triggering. Some people pretend to be authentic, but someone who truly is sees right through it. And that can cause some toxin where maybe they know. Maybe they're taking advantage of that. Maybe you've overcome this, because this is a huge hurdle in healing as an empath. We do have a tendency to give with the understanding that eventually they'll give back. What happened if you overgave to yourself? What would that look like if you authentically asserted your needs, not to others, but to yourself? How would your daily experience change? How would your joy change? There is nothing selfish in seeking to be in a state of feeling good, because when you feel good, you can bring that energy to others around you. It is a gift, you being in a state of feeling good. Enjoying the moment, rolling around in the leaves, maybe making a snow angel. Just looking up at the sky in the morning when you're on your way out to your vehicle, and just taking a moment and being fully present. Enjoying the fresh air. Maybe you have the sun striking your face. These moments are incredibly powerful. And that is being in a state of feeling good. Taking those moments to do that. They feed your soul. They empower you. They allow you to tap back in, reconnect. Nature is, There's a reason why Gaia is part of the title, because we can't divorce ourselves from nature. We are of nature. We evolved surrounded by Gaia, by nature. It is our natural habitat. No matter how many concrete, steel buildings and tarred roads we want to surround ourselves with, they would be gone within 100 years or less. Gaia would handle that real quick. Gaia is eternal in this. Nature is eternal. Whether 1 billion, 2 billion, however many billions of years from now, maybe we end up, like being swallowed by the sun as it expands. But right now, we get to enjoy this beauty. We get to enjoy this state. So, wow, okay. She really just came through there for you guys. She's like, enjoy the state that I'm in. Be grateful for what you have. Bask in what you have. Stop focusing on what you don't. It is so much easier to manifest what you desire when you're aware of the things you do have that you value, when you take the moment for that. That doesn't change that you're like, man, I don't know how I'm going to handle this next week. I'm very aware that I don't feel like I have everything for the recipe for what's coming next week. But you take that moment to enjoy that fresh air. Things like that, they help to balance that scale. Anchor you in the now instead of in next week, where you're like, I don't know. I feel so preachy right now. Oh my goodness, I don't like that. But I don't know, it's what she wanted to say, so here we go. She's like, appreciate me. And appreciating me, you're appreciating yourself. And if you give to yourself and overgive to yourself, what a blessing you would be able to be in any environment with anyone. Versus giving to someone who doesn't give back. Powerful stuff. I mean, she's a very ancient being. She's not human, so she's not going to think and relate and view and all of that the way that we do. So it's like a deeper, like our heartbeat is far more rapid than hers. It's slower, it's deeper, it's old, it's ancient. Her language, her fluency is not going to be in English. It's going to be in those moments where you connect with the natural environment. And really, there's not a place you can go in existence, even in space, that's ether, where you're going to be separated from the elements. No matter where you are, you can connect to nature. No matter where you are. Okay. It's interesting. So we have 2 spheres, and it came out in the shuffle on its side. That's interesting. So this seems to be in a state of, no. Okay, that's really cool. No more is it just like the wheel is turning, things are shifting. This is basically an infinity symbol. And it's got like yin-yang vibes to it. All right, so what goes around comes around. This is, yes, I mean, there could be like a relationship dynamic to this, because matters of the heart are going to be one of the main places that when we incarnate, we learn the most about ourselves. We unlock our ability to awaken to who and what we are through relationships quite a bit. But this is goes around, comes around. Very clear. All right. See what wants to come through. It's not often that the predominantly assertive or masculine deck is what calls to me right away. Ooh, 2 of Cups in the upright. So yeah, there is that relationship aspect to it. All right, what do we need to know here about this 2 of Cups with this goes around, comes around? Okay. Oh, that one hopped. Right. So we have the Three of Swords in the reverse and the Hermit in the reverse. Oop, that one literally fell on the floor here. Okay, yeah, so it was that way. So we have the Four of Spheres in the upright. Okay, for the Two of Cups aspect to this partnership, this co-creation, this could be with you in spirit. This could be you integrating into your own awareness, your own magic, your own soul, your own higher self, the divinity within you, that part of you that is so intimately connected with divine that there's this constant running conversation between that part of you and the divine. Oh, the divinity within you, the balancing of the masculine and the feminine, the intermingling, balanced alignment. You have come into aligned balance within yourself. This is going to be mirrored outside of you. So this martyr aspect, this authentic need, this collective, you guys have handled that. I mean, there may be still some like aspects that are rough around the edges, and where you're going in, you may be refining it, refining it, refining it. In every relationship, in every dynamic, there is a piece of you that you get to learn about because of that interaction. But you learned a lot. So you took what was intended to be a breakup, brokenhearted, split into, kind of alienated from yourself energy. And you called on this very deep part of yourself. This is first communicating with that divinity within you, that connection to the divine. And the divine reached down and communicated, reached down and said, you are pure, you are true, you're authentic, your heart is mine. You love the divinity. You love divine. You love love, really. This is not about religion. This is not about like any specific structured spiritual path. Anything like that, truly, if you were to go way back in time, it's all been a way for man to try to understand what we can't fully comprehend. So in later generations, it actually became a social technology to control the masses. So just drop like any kind of preconceived notion of religion, spirituality, anything like that, and just at the core of all of that is the desire to see, know, experience, and create more love in your life, in the lives of those around you. It is the love that is present. So that part of you that's connected to that divinity, that love, that ultimate awareness of love that you just, it's recognizing you, it's calling out back to you. But there is like this defensiveness though. What do we need to know about this Four of Spheres? Because honestly, what I'm getting from that is you guys are feeling pretty protective of yourselves. Like maybe you've been hurt before. Oh, the Four of Wands. It landed like that. And this is Stairway to Heaven. It's on the side. It's like it's up to you. How you choose to view this is up to you. Your perspective on this is up to you. There's two primary ways that are highlighted for me. One is going to be, maybe I don't want to ascend to this awareness. Maybe I want to stay protected. Maybe knowing more is just too scary. And you know what? That is a valid, normal, and completely understandable perspective to have. That doesn't mean you choose to remain there. Change is constant. It's a fact of life. It's silly to resist it because it's just not possible. So you may be there for a moment, and don't be too hard on yourself, because you may have to go, okay, yeah, well, I'm not really liking that, so I'm going to change that. But you have to have that thought to move beyond that thought, to create something else. So the other side of it is, you have been able to, by coming into alignment within yourself, balance within yourself, you're able to now no longer just want to protect and defend yourself. You are empowered to be able to, like using divine authority as being called out, highlighted. Like, you see how it's reaching down this one here, that. The divine is protecting you. The divine is giving more of themselves to you. The divine is more present within you. So when you speak to your intuition being protected in the Trinity above this individual's head, your shield is fierce. Your shield is fierce. And this here is yet again something that's been coming through quite a bit. And I imagine a fair amount of people, have been here too, where it's like, just because you think it doesn't mean you create it. By thinking it, you can choose to move beyond it. But you have to think, hey, yeah, I'm scared. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is intimidating. I don't know if I want to know. And then you move to the next thought. Well, if you're like me, my next thought is, well, it's here for a reason. I'm given this opportunity for a reason to know. And can I really, truly resist not knowing? I'm going to regret this if I don't find out. I'm going to regret this. And that's only when there's that light, that beacon of truth, that purity of love, that connection with the divine. Yet again, it's the echo. It's your cup, the divine cup. Okay. Interesting. All right, so what else do you want us to know here about this? What goes around comes around. Because there's been a bit of a hint of, some karmic energy. But that hasn't really been what's been highlighted. So, what else do you want us to know here? Okay, Temperance in the reverse. Five of Cups in the reverse. Whoa. Ace of Wands in the upright. Ooh. Ten of Cups upright. Chariot upright. Okay, that's like a whole grouping there. So we'll go with this here. So I'll read these here in a moment. Okay. So Temperance in the reverse. Sit with a moment with Divine in this, and how Divine Gaia wants this to be expressed, because this is very assertive. So this is about like questioning, action, what you're giving to, what you're not giving to. Perfect. This is what either you were experiencing or was desired for you to experience. This was the projection. This was the previous cycle, the last 2,000 or so years, the multiple timelines, the multiple lives that you lived and incarnated. You were never able to end up in the upright. You had the potential. You always had the potential. But there was too much darkness. There was too much interference. And this Five of Cups in the reverse. You were alone. You were alone. You're always alone. And you were stretched so thin. And you're just in this desert space. And I say you were alone because you have 3 cups in the upright and 2 that are upside down. So for every 3 cups that you had full, you would empty 2 of them. So you were always just your cup. You always had this overabundance of love within you that whenever you tried to share or co-create or interact, or in the three, this could be like, you would sit down at a table to meet some new people, and it was like college or high school or a new work environment, and everybody would just put on like that fake, shallow kind of nicey, but you could feel it. I don't know how to explain it. It's like an intuitive thing. It's in the subtleties where you just know that, like, this particular person feels intimidated by you, and you show up the next day, and they like, the whole group just kind of leaves. They come up with some excuse, but it's things like that where you're always alone, no matter what you tried to do, and you didn't understand, really. And it stretched and stretched you. I mean, like, look at it. Ouch! Your arm bones are not supposed to be that long. But this is what's passing away, this projection and this past cycle. That is no longer something that resonates as true. You have manifested your magician era. You have manifested the ability to co-create with divine, this light. And because of that, instead of this experience, you're now in the Ten of Cups. There is no upside down cup. You have an overabundance of individuals that are cascading down from you, like your closest individuals to you that you interact with. Whatever is in your cup that overflows into their cup. I have like this image of one of those like fondue sculptures where like the chocolate is overflowing from cup to cup to cup to cup. And I mean, come on. Chocolate is happiness. So it just expands outward, because then you have the people that get to enjoy that chocolate and have that serotonin, release in their mind, in their brain, the happy chemies, right? And it's all natural. So it's just, okay. And then this, the Chariot card. This is about a strategy that this enemy thought that they had. Enemy, okay. I don't want to quite put it that way, but yeah, it's got a feeling to that. Like, there definitely felt like there was predatory vibe. You did nothing to deserve this, and that's why the divine is like coming down and like, yes, like I'm more present with you. You're pure of heart. Your intentions are good. You don't seek to. You just want to be happy. That's all you want. You don't want to bother nobody. You don't. But you've gotten to this place and you have this wisdom, and because of that, the divine sees an ability within you, just existing as you, that love that is present within you, being fed or amplified by the divine, being able to impact many people in a chain outward from you, in a ripple effect as it multiplies. Like your happiness, your chocolate overflowing from your cup into many others and many others, to a point where you maybe don't even realize that a couple hundred years from now, generational wise, that in a very remote way, something that you said or did caused a domino effect in an individual that affected that person's life profoundly. And that is the playing field of the divine. You see that the checkers are black and white, but it's not white versus black. Like, all of that is divine. Divine is balanced in light and shadow, and you are as well. It's part of why you are being recognized. And this feels like the moving and shifting and waving of an ocean, not just a desert, though the desert does do that. But the playing field is always changing. It's always shifting and changing. And now you're in this cycle now, where you have the next 2,000 some years, this next turning of the wheel, where this gets to be your reality. The challenge is remembering this in this lifetime, because you've achieved it in this lifetime. And maybe you achieved it in the last lifetime too, but it's just like you're wanting to refine things, or maybe you'll go through it again in the next lifetime. However, this may resonate specifically for you. The challenge is to live this, but not forget the lessons and the truth of this. It's like, stay humble and kind. Like the country song. So, and that's kind of backed up here with the Six of Cups, the Six of Swords, and then the Nine of Cups in the reverse. Six of Cups is remembering. It's the remembering. It's viewing, looking back into the past. I'm getting a concept of any Harry Potter fans? That one, oh gosh, I wish I could remember the name of it, but Dumbledore would take a memory with his wand and he'd place it in like this scrying bowl. And then he would stick his face in that, and then he would find himself inside the memory. So that's a similar thing to what this orb is. It's like remembering this so that you can keep maintaining balance here. Because you're not ignoring one side of the coin, right? With the turning of the wheel, or what goes around comes around. It's not just a congratulations, you've turned the wheel, it's party time. It's also, all right, what about the higher view, the bigger picture? How do I stay balanced? To not just live here and ignore this. I need to be able to prepare to keep myself balanced. To prepare, stay aware of what you've gone through. Keep that part of you sharp. Your discernment, keep it sharp. It does not mean that you have to continually go through the things that you were going through to the extent that you were, but you have to remember the danger of touching the stove top when it's on. That level of discernment. Don't forget what hurt. Because in that hurt, you know what not to do and what to do to overcome that. This is yet again an echoing of the balancing here. If you notice, there's very infinity yin yang. Excuse me. Yin yang energy here. So remember what the emotions of what hurt and what brought truth and healing, and the double-edged sword. The emotions of the double-edged sword. The power of the double-edged sword. Because sometimes the truth can heal and it can hurt. The truth can set you free and it can break you too. And the emotion, and this is where this Nine of Cups in the reverse. What do you give to and what don't you give to? Because you can know it, with swords being that of air. You can know it, but do you feed it your emotion? Do you empower it? Now, when someone's rude or cruel or mean or bullying you, you're going to be angry. Yeah, that's a normal first step. Yeah, but what do you do after the anger? And what happens when you get to compassion? What happens then? Because that's where you are. That's where your challenge is now. A lot of times individuals that are doing this think that you couldn't possibly understand how much pain or agony they're in or how much they've been through. No one could possibly have been through as much as them, and because of that, it's almost like they feel they have a right to be cruel to you, as if you have not gone through as much as them. Truth is, they don't know what you've been through. They don't know what you've overcome. And even if they think they know, for the collective that watches my channel, that resonates here, You guys have been processing a lot of their stuff, living their stuff. They just don't know. The reason why they think you haven't been through as much is because you choose to move beyond the anger towards this hope, this light, this happiness. And they're stuck back here. Well, you're continuing on, and they think that means that you have it easier. Not always is it the right thing to do for them or for you. Maybe it's just to be done in like the spiritual aspect of things, to highlight them, pray. Not like, I pray that you come to my belief, but more of a, I see that there's a light in this individual and that they're suffering, and I don't think that I'm meant to be the one to help them, because I think if I do anything, I'll probably just make it worse. So what I can do is say, hey, light within me, the divine within me. Is there a way that we can maybe help this light grow within them? Is there some way? Because they're asking for help by acting out like they are. And then you just surrender it and you walk away and you leave it be, because you've done your part. If you're meant to do something more, you'll learn, you'll know, you'll hear, you'll get it. But that individual, I have one individual in my history in particular where I actually got to sit down with that person. And yeah, she had it rough. Yeah. I can't, really say that I can imagine what her day-to-day life was. I'm pretty sure it wasn't pleasant. But she didn't realize what I was dealing with, and she was so angry and resentful because she assumed, she was young, we were young, that I wasn't going through anything. And I kind of giggled and laughed. I'm like, oh boy, let me give you a little bit of a taste of what my life is like, the unpleasantness to my experience. She was like, I had no idea. I'm like, yeah, I really do understand what you feel. Even if I don't understand the specifics of it, I do. I just choose to not wear it, if you will. I don't know how to really explain it. But the collective tuning in, you guys have probably been told your whole life that you're old souls as well. So you probably know to some extent what I mean. Where people just noticed you were different. You seemed older than you were. You were curious about things that someone much older than you, would be curious about. Someone your age wouldn't be typically asking that question. Things like that. And then you're like, well, what does it mean to be an old soul? Do I want to be an old soul? What does this mean? I'm curious. And then you get to deal with everybody's ideas of what it means. And really, all it really matters is, what does it mean to you? So these emotions, these thoughts, this changing, it's this scale, and it's not like good to bad. It's sometimes you need to hang out at this step for a while before you can move to this one. But are you continuing to move? Are you continuing to grow, evolve, and change between just the thought and the emotion? Now, because you're in your magician era and this is your cycle right now, the challenge is to not ignore one side, but to look at it as a whole and carry it with you into the next cycle, like the next 2,000 some years. All of those lifetimes, all of those lessons, all those pieces of you that you get to learn about, know, and grow within, and to look at the other side, where the other side is now experiencing this. They had been experiencing this, but now they're experiencing this. You're experiencing this, but you had been experiencing this. You understand, like you just switched sides, right? You just flipped the script. Is to still be able to find a way to have compassion, even if that compassion is simply surrendering it to the divine. Because this energy will not be present in just one person. This energy will manifest multiple ways in your life, as will this one, in many different people, at many different times, in multiple ways, in every lifetime. So it's not about hyper-focusing on one person. Okay. Is there anything else before we close this reading? Just in closing, anything further you would like to share with the collective tuning in? The Three of Cups. You are now co-creating with the divine. And yeah, there's definitely a partner here. There's a Trinity. The love of the divine. Yes, the Trinity is creating with you, but there's definitely a relationship dynamic. Counterpart, soulmate, how it resonates for you. That is either coming in as it's receiving, or it's like validation that it's here. That this is meant for you. And when you encounter it, you know it's in the works. That everything is as it is meant to be in its time. You don't want it to come out of the oven too early. You don't. Like I had these brownies that I've made when I was young, and oh my gosh, they were so good. And I don't know what I did that one time, but every time after that, it was a little bit off. So everything has to be just right to make it that perfect. So good, right? So know that this is on its way, and it is meant for you. No one can take from you what is meant for you. It is meant for you. So there's no need to have anxiety or worry or fret about, but it's not here. Why isn't it here? But, everything is fine. The divine is involved now. If there's some kind of a concern about pain or healing or disruptive energy from one side of the road affecting your side of the road, you're not going to be hurt or harmed. It will heal you. It will challenge you to overcome. It will strengthen you both. It is good for you. Now, I'm not going to say you're not going to be in an anger state at times, because you very well may be. And may be very healthy and understandable to be there, but it's moving beyond that. Choosing to move beyond that. And even if it is not to moving beyond anger to like forgiveness or compassion, maybe it's moving beyond that to expressing your sadness. Because really, anger is about defending yourself from what makes you feel bad, sad, mournful, sorrowful, what hurts you. That may be the next step before you get to empathy and compassion. So, yay to the 10 of Cups. That's yours. This 5 of Cups is in the reverse. Like, no more. No more. Your cup runneth over. Your cup runneth over. People are not dumping out the 2 cups you give them and only leaving you with yours anymore. Enjoy that. But don't forget the pearls of wisdom from this time. Carry them with you. Honor and love that part of yourself. If you want, see this as your shadow side and your light side. Manifesting balance. Don't forget the shadow in favor of the light, because the light doesn't get to shine without the shadow. All right. Bring this reading to a close then. The divine within me, the love within me, honors the divine, the love within you. Namaste.